Bulls Nation, today we had a game against the Milwaukee Bucks, and to be honest, the expected result, the result that I think we all saw coming, is exactly what happened. Even without Giannis Antetokounmpo on this team, the Chicago Bulls simply did not have enough in terms of offense and definitely on defense to stop this Milwaukee team. And overall, this is another result that really hurts the Chicago Bulls, and if there was any chance of us making that play-in tournament, I think it's safe to say that it's becoming less and less and less unlikely. So without further ado, let's talk about the Chicago Bulls versus the Milwaukee Bucks in this video. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today, we've got a Chicago Bulls versus Milwaukee Bucks game reaction. The Chicago Bulls, with everything on the line and what was already an unlikely chance to make that play-in tournament, had to face the Milwaukee Bucks. And even without a Giannis Antetokounmpo on this team, the Chicago Bulls were simply not good enough from the very beginning all the way until the end to stop this Milwaukee Bucks team. And overall, we have shown once again that we do not really have enough to make that play-in tournament at this time. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls overall. What was your opinion on the team today and things like that. In the end, the Chicago Bulls lost this game 108-98. It's a 10-point deficit for the Chicago Bulls that we couldn't overcome. From the very beginning, from the first quarter all the way to the fourth, I don't think we had the lead in this game outside of like the first 2 points. Maybe even then we didn't have the lead. I'm not too sure. So the fact of the matter is, this is just a game where the expected result was to happen. Even without Giannis Antetokounmpo, this team was not good enough to beat them. We weren't good enough to beat them the first time around. We weren't good enough to beat them now. Maybe towards the last game of the season, we'll have enough by then. But in the end, the Chicago Bulls simply only did what was expected of them to do, and that's to lose to the Milwaukee Bucks. When it comes to the play-in tournament, I've said it a lot for a while now about the Chicago Bulls, and I'll say it again. I just don't think we have enough. And again, with every single game that comes by, with every single game being closer and closer to that play-in tournament, every loss counts. Every loss matters. And unfortunately, we've taken another loss while I believe other teams have taken our position. So in the end, the Chicago Bulls have a tough task ahead of them. And I truly think it is close to impossible now for the Chicago Bulls, which means that our season is coming towards an end. We're going to be facing our end very soon if we don't turn things around, or if we don't beat really good teams coming forward. So again, it's difficult. It is difficult. It's never going to be easy, and I say that all the time. I'm like I just repeat myself all the time, and it's just the way that I feel. And when it comes towards this game, I truly have nothing to say that I haven't said already for the Chicago Bulls. Simple as that. What do I need to say in this game that hasn't been said over the course of multiple games for the Chicago Bulls? Offensively, we didn't start out well, and we picked things up slowly and surely, but in the end, we started off poorly, and everything went downhill from there. We had a 19-point third quarter. We had a 16-point first quarter. 2 bad quarters, 2 semi-good quarters. That's just not enough to win the game. It's as simple as that. Inconsistent quarters, inconsistent game. Simple as that. I don't need to go any further into this, because it's the same game. It's the same song and dance we've been singing for a long time with the Chicago Bulls. You need to play consistently all 4 quarters. Even if you get outplayed every now and then at certain quarters, you need to stick close to your opposition. Notice when the Chicago Bulls quarters that we've won, Milwaukee are not far behind. Where all the quarters that we've lost, the Chicago Bulls are double digits behind them. Let me give you an example about what I mean by that. When the Chicago Bulls lost the I guess the first quarter, pretty much, it was 16-28. That was pretty much the quarter for the Chicago Bulls. However, in the second quarter, it was 28-24. So instantly we won that quarter, but the Milwaukee Bucks came very close. Then obviously a 19-point to 28-point quarter for the Chicago Bulls. We lost that quarter, 19-28. So we're very far away from them, 8-point difference. And in the end, we lost by 10. So it just kind of makes the world of difference, to be honest. And it just shows the resemblance of the game. Again, there's nothing else to really say. I don't know the situation. I don't know what we're going to do, what we're not going to do. In the end, this is a game where I expected this to happen, and it's exactly what happened. We're going to have to move on swiftly and just continue to talk about this team. Let's go into the individual performers. To be honest, like I said, I don't really have much to say about this game. I mean, I really, really, really do not have much to say. Little to nothing, to be honest. And I don't know if that's because I wasn't analysing the game as often as I would have liked, or if I missed a few things here and there, or maybe just because I just didn't see this game worth analysing. I don't really know why I have nothing to say. But the thing is, I just don't have anything to say. Maybe in the individual performers, we'll find things to talk about. Daniel Tice, 16 points and 10 rebounds. Again, Daniel Tice, one of his better games for the Chicago Bulls. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Not really too much to complain about in terms of his production. Again, I think he will be something that the Chicago Bulls should definitely try and keep in the team long term. In the end, it's going to be hard to do, but I definitely think it's worth doing. I definitely think the Chicago Bulls should try everything they can to keep him onto this team long term, because I definitely think he's a player that will help us win in the future. Nikola Vucevic, 17 points, 4 assists, 15 rebounds. I did not like Nikola Vucevic's game for the majority today. He struggled, and in the end, if Nikola Vucevic is struggling to score, if everything's falling short, he's not making the shots, it kind of shows how down bad we were. Again, there were a lot of instances where we were around 20-point deficit in this game. So, again, when he is struggling, the Bulls will struggle. And again, when that's our all-star, and we don't have Zach LaVine here to pick up the pieces. We don't have that. So, again, we can't see Nikola Vucevic struggle, and unfortunately he did. But I'm not gonna give him any stick. In the end, he's been very consistent for the most part for this team. So a bad game like this, even though 17 and 15 for many people isn't a bad game, but you saw from Nikola Vucevic, it's kind of bad towards his standards in the end. So yeah, it is what it is. We're gonna move on. Kobe White, 21 points, 7 assists, 1 rebound. With Kobe White, again, he had to work very hard for his stats today. I'm not going to complain about Kobe White's performance in the end. To say he struggled, maybe he struggled, maybe he didn't. The reality is with Kobe White is that he stepped up a lot since he's been starting. So I don't really know what level to assess him at now, because I can assess him at his time when he was starting originally, in which this is obviously probably a better game, or I could go to the bench, in which he's having a massive leap. But in the end, he's had better games than this recently. So this is just an okay game for Kobe White, in my opinion. 7 assists is great. I don't know how many turnovers he had. Scoring-wise, I still think he probably missed a few shots. But again, it is what it is. I don't really want to complain about Kobe White either. And the last person I'm really going to mention, Satoransky, 13 points and 1 assist with 4 rebounds. They targeted Satoransky as well. Again, Drew Holiday, very, very, very good defender. Jeff Teague as well really helped on the defensive end against Satoransky. And they pressured him. And in the end, as a bigger guy that could dribble, there's chances to steal that ball. And we've seen that with Satoransky for a long time. He turns the ball over based on his dribbling, not necessarily just his passing. So something with that we've seen again today. And it is what it is. Again, I don't really have too much to say. That's all I'm going to mention. Patrick Williams had 5 points. Kobe White, I mentioned Kobe White. Garrett Temple had 6 points. Thaddeus Young had 8 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds. Denzel Valentine had 5 points and 3 assists. And that's it for the Chicago Bulls. The player of the game, I'm probably going to give to Daniel Tice. Again, I've been enjoying most of his performances recently. He had a very good game not too long ago, I believe, against Miami. And he had a very strong game in today's game, and he only played 25 minutes. So in my opinion, this is a far and away easy decision. For me, I'm going to pick Daniel Tice for the must improve. Again, I'm sorry if it seems like I'm rushing this video. In the end, to an extent, I kind of am rushing this video because I do have a lot to get through. But in the end, the Chicago Bulls have not really done anything that I haven't said already. So I kind of don't want to repeat myself every single video saying the Bulls are inconsistent, the Bulls turn the ball over, the Bulls don't play pick-and-roll defense. And all of these things, the Bulls leave three-point shooters open, because I say this all the time. So repeating myself, I just don't feel like it's the right thing to do in many ways. It does suck that we lost to them without Giannis. There's obviously an MVP caliber player there that didn't play, and we still ended up losing. So that sucks. But in the end, this is the expected result. This is the result I expected to happen walking into this, and this is the result that ended up happening. So we still have one more game to verse against the Milwaukee Bucks. I believe that's our last game of the season. So hopefully maybe we still have something to fight for by then, but if we don't, hopefully we can walk out of our season with a bang, and maybe we could beat them in the last game of the season. Who really knows what's going to happen then? Yeah, the Bulls' record is 26-37. Yeah, difficult time for the Chicago Bulls. In the end, it's further out of reach now. Once again, it was already really hard to reach that play-in tournament, but a loss like this just makes it even harder for us. So once again, it's even more difficult now. And even back when we versed the Knicks and we lost, I said it was already out of reach. I said we were going to stay 11th, and this just doesn't help that cause. In the end, maybe there's always a possibility. Again, never say never. It's mathematically still possible, but I just don't think we have enough, especially with the talent of teams that we're going to have coming up next. Speaking of, our next game for the Chicago Bulls will be against the Atlanta Hawks, I believe. The Atlanta Hawks. I'm not sure if they had Trae Young or not. Again, I haven't kept up with the Atlanta Hawks. Just based on their recent games, let's see what they've done based on recent games. Again, they're really high in their standings. Their recent game was against the Philadelphia 76ers twice, and they lost both games. They actually lost to Detroit as well. So they're coming into this game on a 3-game losing streak. And yeah, that's going to be very interesting. They still do have Trae Young, so I don't know what's the issue with them. I don't know why they've lost 3 in a row. So maybe that's something that the Hawks can come in on bad confidence and the Bulls could take advantage. But normally the Chicago Bulls get destroyed by the Atlanta Hawks this season. 2 games, we got destroyed, both of them. One of them, we were up by 13. Zach LaVine had to drop 50, and we still ended up losing that game. And the other one, in the first game of the season, we just got absolutely thrashed. So again, they always expose us for the bad defensive team that we are. And I'm hoping that we can end up finding a way to kind of reverse what they do, to maybe clamp them up more, because that's obviously the weakness here. We can score on the Atlanta Hawks. I think that's very easy to say. We had a very high scoring game against them before, but in the end, we need, and I truly mean it, we absolutely need to play defense against the Atlanta Hawks. And if we don't, then very similar result will happen. In the end, the Chicago Bulls, I'm not sure if they have given up on this season. I'm not sure if they're going to continue to keep fighting, and I hope they do keep fighting. Even if we're mathematically out of the play-in tournament, I want the Bulls to fight every single game, because that's the type of mentality that we need. Win or lose, the mentality needs to be that we need to fight for everything. So when we have the talent to win games consistently, we also have the fight. I don't want to see this team drop their heads. I don't think they dropped their heads today, the Chicago Bulls. I just thought they were outplayed. But I don't want to see them drop their heads. And we'll see what happens in that game. I'm going to leave this one. It's just a shorter video. I apologize. Maybe people like it this way. I just had nothing to say. That's the honest truth. I just had nothing to say on this game. I watched it. I didn't enjoy it as usual. I don't like when the Bulls lose, but I just had nothing to say. I don't know what to say. I'm not going to scream and shout about this team. In the end, I expect some games like this from them, especially against good teams. So I can't complain. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to scream and shout. But in the end, I just have nothing left to say for this team. So hopefully when we pick up our next win, I'll be more energy, more vibrant. In the end, the win always feels good, no matter if we're a play-in team or we're down out of it, or even if we were the 6th seed. A win always feels good, and that's when you'll probably see the best out of me. But unfortunately today, it's not the best version of me that you're going to get, but hopefully it will still be enough. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Have a wonderful and safe day, all Bulls fans. I guess we're going to have to keep our eyes set just for a little while longer. But in the end, we're going to most likely be talking about next season very soon as a Chicago Bulls fan. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. In the end, we just don't know what's going to happen. So let's just wait and see. Have a wonderful day. Take care and peace.